Peace, 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 everyone. Let's see if this works this time. We had a technical difficulty. We're waiting to people join again. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel, Tru Hicks. Also, my wife's YouTube channel, Dionne's Life. Make sure this video get one share, because we're going to one share to 10 shares, 10 shares to 100 shares, 100 shares to 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares to 100,000 shares, and 100,000 shares to 1,000,000 shares, and it all starts with you. So appreciate y'all for tapping in. Put the number 5 if y'all can hear me, because earlier I had technical difficulties. If y'all don't mind, put the number 5 if you can hear me on YouTube and Facebook. Hopefully my volume is working. Today is December 13th, and it is 4:31. Put the number 5 if you can hear me, y'all. We will be talking about, I can't hear you on Facebook. What about YouTube? If YouTube ain't working, I'm just gonna stick with Facebook today and worry about getting that glitches out of the YouTube. Because it look like YouTube is not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And that's okay, because it's not our system. So if y'all don't mind, I'll cancel YouTube today and be on Facebook. Here we go. So we was talking about pearls. Pearls in ancient cultures. In ancient Rome, pearls was considered the ultimate status symbol. The wealthy Romans were so captivated by pearls that adorned their clothing and furniture with them. That extravagance reached a point where laws were passed to restrict pearls to the ruling classes, showcasing pearls as emblems of prestige and wealth. The Greeks also esteemed pearls that they were synonymous with the love and marriage, believed to bring protection to newlyweds by associating pearls with matrimony, harmony. Oh, YouTube is working. All praises to Allah. Thank you. So be good, y'all. On Facebook and YouTube. Tru Hicks on Facebook. Tru Hicks on YouTube. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. The Greeks embedded pearls deep within their culture as icons as purity and loyalty. Pearls in mythology and religion. In Chinese civilization, pearls were thought to guarantee protection from dragons and fires. They were also believed to symbolize wisdom acquired through experience, often portrayed in art as dragon chasing after the elusive pearl. Japanese history and folklore resonated with spiritual aspects of pearls, viewing them as tears shed by nymphs or the spiritual beings of the water, imbuing them with a pure, serene meaning. The relationship with water entitles signifies a deeper connection between the physical beauty of the pearls and their perceived ability to harmonize the spirit. Throughout the numerous cultures, pearls have maintained a strong spiritual and symbolic presence, woven deeply into the fabric of myth, religion, and historic narratives. Pearl formation and characteristic. And then in the intricate process of pearl formation, oysters and mollusks, mollusks, play a pivotal role, secreting nectar to envelop irritants. I'm sorry, y'all. Ultimate yielding pearls with varying luster, shape, color, and size. That's why I like reading the book, really. That was earlier. I'm gonna go to what I really want to read though, but cause I got thrown off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. So today's read is Rich Dad Cash Flow Quadrant: Guide to Financial Freedom by Robert Kiyosaki. Random chapter, random book. Random chapter, random page, and it says now. Okay. Chapter 6. You cannot see money with your eyes. Money is an idea that is more clearly seen with your mind. Make sure y'all drink your tea out there too, your water. I'm drinking tea, water, and that's it for right now. In late 1974, I purchased a small condo on the fringes of Waikiki as one of my first investment properties. The price was $56,000 for a cute 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit in an average building. It was perfect rental unit, and I knew it would rent quickly. I drove to my rich dad's office, all excited about showing him the deal. He glanced at the documents and in less than a minute, he looked up and asked, "How much money are you losing a month?" "About $100 a month," I said. "Don't be foolish," Rich Dad said. "I haven't gone over the numbers, but I can already tell from the written documents that you are losing much more than that. And besides, why in the world would you normally invest in something that loses money?" "Well, the unit looked nice, and I thought it was a good deal. A little paint in the place would be a good as new," I said. "That doesn't justify no one losing money," smirked Rich Dad. "Well, my real estate agent said not to worry about losing money every month. He said that in a few years, the price of this unit will double. In addition, the government gives me a tax break on the money I lose. Besides, it was such a good deal that I was afraid someone else would buy it if I didn't." Rich Dad stood and closed his office door. When he did that, I knew I was about to be chewed out as well as be taught an important lesson. I've been through these types of educational sessions before. "So how much money are you losing?" Rich Dad asked again. "About $100, I repeated nervously. Rich Dad shook his head as he scanned the documents. The lesson was about to begin. Excuse me. On that day, I learned more about money and investing than I had all my previous 27 years of life. Rich Dad was happy that I took the initiative and invested in a property, but I made some grave mistakes that could have been a financial disaster. However, the lesson I learned from the one investment have made me millions over the years. Money is seen with your mind. It's not what you see. It's not what your eyes see," said Rich Dad. "A piece of real estate is a piece of real estate. A company stock certificate is a company stock certificate. You can see those things, but it's what you can't see that's important. It's the deal, the financial agreement, the market, the management, the risk factors, the cash flow, the corporate structuring, the tax laws, and thousands of other things that can make something a good investment or not." He then proceeded to tear the deal apart with questions. "Why would you pay such a high interest rate? What do you figure your return on investment to be? How does this investment fit into your long-term financial strategy? What vacancy factor are you using? What is your cap rate? Have you checked the association history of assessments? Have you figured in management costs? What percentage rate did you use to complete repairs? Did you know what the city has just announced and it will be turning up the roads in the area and changing the traffic pattern? A major a major a major thoroughfare will will run right in front of your building. Residents are moving to avoid the year-long project. Did you know that? I know the market trend is up today, but did you do you know what is driving that trend? Business economy, business economics or greed. How long do you think the trend will continue up? What happens if this place doesn't rent? And if it doesn't, how long can you keep this place and yourself afloat? And again, what goes in your head to make you think that losing money is a good deal? This really has me worried. It looked like a good deal, I said, deflated. Rich Dad smiled, stood up and shook my hand. I'm glad you took action. He said, most people think but never do. If you do something, you make mistakes. And it's from our mistakes that we learn the most. Remember that anything important can really be learned in the classroom. Really remember that anything important can't really be learned in the classroom. It must be learned by taking action, making mistakes, and then correcting them. That's when the wisdom sets in. I felt a little better and was ready to learn. Rich Dad went on to explain that people look at a piece of real estate or the name of a stock and often make their decision based off what their eyes see. What a broker tells them, or or on a hot tip from a fellow worker, they often buy emotionally instead of rationally. That's why 9 of 10 investors don't make money, said Rich Dad. While they make while they might not lose money, they don't make any either. They just sort of break even, making some and losing some. That's because they invest with their eyes and emotions rather than with their minds. Many people invest because they want to get rich quickly. So instead of becoming investors, they wind up being dreamers, hustlers, gamblers, and crooks. The world is filled with them. So let's sit down and go back over the losing deal you just bought, and I will teach you how to turn it into a winning deal. I will begin to teach your mind to see what your eyes can, from bad to good. The next morning, I went back to real estate agent, rejected the deal as it stood, and reopened negotiation. It wasn't a pleasant process, but I learned a lot. 3 days later, I returned to see Rich Dad. The price of the condo stayed the same, and the agent got his full commission because he deserved it. But while the price remained the same, the terms of the investment were vastly different. By renegotiating the interest rate, payments terms, and the amortization, amortization, amortization period, instead of losing money, I was now certain of making a net profit of $80 per month. Even after the management fee and allowance for vacancy was factored in, I could even lower my rent and still make money if the market went bad. I could definitely raise the rent if the market got better. I estimate that you were going to lose at least $150 per month, said Rich Dad, probably more. If you had continued to lose $150 per month based on your salary and expenses, how many of these deals could you afford? Barely one, I replied. Most months I don't have an extra $150. If I had done the original deal, I would have struggled financially every month, even after the tax breaks. I might even have to take a extra job to pay for this investment. And now, how much of these deals at $80 positive cash flow can you afford? Asked Rich Dad. I smiled and said, as many as I can get my hands on. Rich Dad nodded in approval. Now go out there and get your hands on more of them. A few years later, the real estate prices in Hawaii did skyrocket. But instead of having only one property go up in value, I had seven double in value. That is the power of little financial intelligence. You can't do that. When I took my new offer back to the real estate agent, and all he said to was, "You can't do that. You took the longest time was convincing the agent to start thinking about how I could do what I wanted done. In any event, there was many lessons I learned from one investment, and one of those lessons was to realize that when someone says to you, you can't do that, they may have one finger pointing forward at you, but three fingers are pointing back at them. Rich Dad taught me that. You can't do that. One minute. You know how to come? Sorry about that. Whew. Rich Dad taught me that you can't do that doesn't necessarily mean you can't. It more often means they can't. A classic example took place many years ago when people told the Wright brothers, "You can't do that." Thank goodness the Wright brothers didn't listen. 1.4 trillion looking for a home. Every day, trillions of dollars are moved around the planet electronically. There is more money being created and available today than ever before. The problem is money is invisible. Today, the bulk of it is electronic. So when people look for money with their eyes, they fail to see anything. Most people struggle to live paycheck to paycheck, and yet 1.4 trillion flies around the world every day looking for someone who wants it. It's looking for someone who knows how to take care of it, nurture it, and grow it. If you know how to take care of money, money will flock to you and be thrown at you. People will beg you. People will beg you to take it. But if you don't know how to take care of money, money will stay away from you. Remember, Rich Dad definition of financial intelligence is not how much money you make, but how much money you keep, how hard it how hard it works for you, and generates how many generations you keep it for. The blind leading the blind. Make sure y'all drink our tea out there too. I know on the East Coast, y'all got hit with snow. So stay safe out there, y'all. The blind leading the blind. The average person is 95% eyes and only 5% mind when they invest, said Rich Dad. If you want to become a professional in the B and I quadrants, you need to train your eyes to be 5% and train your mind to see the other 95%. Rich Dad went on to explain that people who train their mind to see money have tremendous power over people who don't. He was adamant about who I took financial advice from. The reason most people struggle financially is because they take advice from people who are also mentally blind to money. It's the classic tale of the blind leading the blind. If you want money to come to you, must know how to take care of it. If money isn't first in you, if money isn't first in your head, it won't stick to your hands. If it doesn't stick to your hands, then money and people with money will stay away from you. Train your brain train your brain to see money. So what is the first step in training your brain to see money? The answer is easy. It's financial literacy. begins with the ability to understand the words and the number system of capitalism. If you don't understand the words or numbers, you might as well be speaking a foreign language. And in many cases, each quadrant represents a foreign language. If you if you look at your cash flow quadrant, each quadrant is like a different country. They don't all use the same words, and if you don't understand the words, you won't understand the numbers. E, employee. S, self-employed. B, big business. I, investors. For example, if the medical doctor says your stochastic is 120 and your diastolical is 80, is that good or bad? Is that all you need to know for your health? The answer is obviously no, but it's a start. It's like saying my stock PE is 12 and my apartment cap rate is 12. Is this all I need to know for my wealth? Again, the answer is no, but it's a start. At least we are beginning to speak the same words and the same numbers. And that is the beginning of financial literacy, which is the basis of financial intelligence. It starts with knowing the words and numbers. The doctor is speaking from the S quadrant, and the investor is speaking from the words and numbers of the I quadrant. They might as well be speaking different languages. I disagree when someone says to me, it takes money to make money. In my opinion, the ability to make money with money begins with understanding the words and numbers. As my rich dad always said, if money is not first in your head, it won't stick to your head, sticks to your hands. Know what is real risk is. The second step is training your brain to see money is to learn to recognize what real risk is. When people say to me that investing is risky, I simply say investing is not risky. Being uneducated is risky. Investing is much like flying. If you have been to flight school and spent a number of years gaining experience, then flying is fun and exciting. But if you've never been to flight school, I'll leave flying to someone else. Bad advice is risky. Rich Dad firmly believed that any financial advice was better than no financial advice. He was a man with an open mind. He was courteous and listened to many people, but he relied ultimately on his own financial intelligence to make his decision. If you don't know anything, then any advice is better than no advice. But if you but if you can't call but if you can't tell the difference between bad advice and good advice, then that is risky. Rich Dad firmly believed that most people struggle financially because they operate on financial information handed down from parent to child, and most people don't come from financially sound families. He often said, bad financial advice is risky, and most of the bad advice is handed out at home, not from what is said, but from what is done. Children learn by example more than words. If y'all just tapping in with me, I am reading Rich Dad, Cash Flow Quadrant, Guide to Financial Freedom by Robert Kiyosaki. And go ahead and hit the like button, the heart button, the 100 button. We're going from 1 shares to 10 shares, 10 shares to 100 shares, 100 shares to 1,000 shares, 1,000 shares to 10,000 shares, 10,000 to 100,000. And you know the rest, 100,000 shares to 1,000,000 shares. And it starts with you. So I appreciate it for tapping in. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to my wife's channel, Dionne's Life. That's on YouTube. Dionne's Life. Dionne''. Let's get it. Your advisors are only as smart as you. Rich Dad said, "Your advisors can only be smart as you are. If you are not smart, they can't tell you that much. If you are financially well educated, competent advisors can give you more sophisticated financial advice. If you are financially naive, they must by law offer you only safe and secure financial strategies. If you are an unsophisticated investor, excuse me, they can only offer low risk, low yield investment. They often recommend diversification for unsophisticated investors. Few advisors choose to take the time to teach you because their time is money. So if you would take it upon yourself to become financially educated and manage your money well, then a competent excuse me, water break after this. So if you would take it upon yourself to become financially educated and manage your money well, then a competent advisor can inform you about investment and strategies that few will ever see. But first, you must do your part to get educated. Always remember, your advisor can be as smart as you. Water. Make sure y'all drink our water, your teas. Is your banker lying to you? Rich Dad had several bankers he dealt with. They were an important part of the financial team. While he was close friends with and respected his bankers, he always felt he had to watch out for his own best interests, just as he expected the bankers to look out for their own best interests. After my 1974 investment experience, he asked me this: when a banker says that your house is an asset, is he telling you the truth? Since most people are financially literate and don't know the game of money, they often must take the opinion and advice of people they tend to trust. If you are not financially literate, then you need to trust someone you hope is. Many people invest or manage their money based on someone else's recommendation more than their own, and that is risky. They are not lying. They are just not telling you the whole truth. The fact is that when a banker says your house is an asset, they are not really lying to you. They are not just telling you the whole truth. While your house is an asset, they simply don't say whose asset it is. If you read your financial statements, it's easy to see that your house is not your asset. It's the bank asset. Remember my Rich Dad definition of assets and liability from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. An asset puts money in your pocket, a liability takes money out of your pocket. People on the left side don't really need to know the difference. Most of them are happy to feel secure in their jobs, have a nice house they think they own and are proud of and think they are in control of. Excuse me. Nobody would take it away from them as long as they make those payments. But people on the right side need to know the difference. Being financial literate and financial intelligent means being able to understand the big picture of money. Financially astute people know that a mortgage doesn't show up as an asset, but as a liability on your balance sheet. Your mortgage actually shows up as an asset on the balance sheet across town. It shows up on the assets on the bank balance sheet. Look at that. Anyone who has taken account knows that a balance sheet must balance. But where does it balance? It doesn't really balance on your balance sheet. If you look at the bank's balance sheet, now it balances. Now it makes sense that it's B and an I that is B&I accounting, but this is not the way it is taught in basic accounting. In accounting, you should show that value of your home as an asset, and the mortgage is a liability. Also, an important point to note is that the value of your home is an opinion that fluctuates with the market. While your mortgage is definite liability, not affected by the market, for a B&I, the value of your home is not considered an asset because it does not generate cash flow. What happens if you pay off your mortgage? Many people ask me, what happens if I pay off my mortgage? Is my house an asset then? And my reply is, in most cases, the answer is still no. It's still a liability. There are several reasons why this is true. One is the maintenance and general upkeep. Property is like a car. Even if you own it free and clear, it still costs money to operate. And once things start to break, everything begins to break. In most cases, people pay for repairs on their house and their car with after tax dollars. A person is in the B and I quadrants only includes property as an asset if it generates income through positive cash flow. But the main reason that a house, even without a mortgage, is still a liability is because you still don't own it. The government still taxes you even if you own it. So stop paying your property taxes and you will find out who really owns your property. That is where tax lien certificates come from, which I wrote about in Rich Dad Poor Dad. Tax lien certificates are an excellent way to receive up to 16% interest on your money. If homeowners don't pay their property tax, the government charges them interest on their tax owed at rates from 10% to 50%. Talk about taken to the cleaners. If you don't pay the property taxes and someone like me pays them for you, then in many states you owe me the taxes plus the interest. If you don't pay me with a certain amount of time, I get to take your house just for money I put up. Wow. I put up in most states property taxes take priority in repayment, even before the bank's mortgage. I have the opportunity to buy houses I pay the taxes on for just a few $1,000s. That's some good information right there. So now it's my first read, well, technically my second read, but I had technical difficulties this morning. As you can see, I'm throwing off a little bit, but that's okay. Where my pen at? I'm telling you, Dionne be trying to take my pen. This pen is a nice pen. Today 12, 13, 24, 5:03 a.m. Alright. So that's that one. Let me see. So for my next one, I'm gonna be again coming out of the Quran. This is the Holy Quran with English translations and commentary, the Milani Muhammad Ali version. So random chapter, random page, You know how that goes. Boom. Chapter 11. Hood. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Allah am the Seer, a book whose verses are characterized by wisdom, then they are made plain from one wise aware, that you should serve none but Allah. Surely I am to you from him a warner and a giver of good news. Ask forgiveness of your Lord, then turn to him. He will provide you with a goodly provision to an important term, and will bestow his grace on everyone endowed with grace. And if you turn away, I fear for you the chastisement of great day. To Allah is your return, and he is the possessor of power over all things. Now, surely they cover up their breasts to conceal their enmity from him. Now, surely when they put their garments as covering, he knows what they hide and what they make public. Surely he is the knower of what is in the breast. And there is no animal in the earth, but Allah is the sustenance of it. And he knows its resting place and its dispository. All is in the clear record. And he is who created the heavens and the earth in 6 periods. And his throne of power is ever on water, that he might manifest the good qualities in you. Whoever of you is best in deeds. And if thou sayest, you shall surely be raised up after death, those who disbelieve say, this is nothing but clear deceits. And if we delay for them the chastisement for a stated period, they will certainly say, what prevents it? Now surely on the day when it comes to them, it will not be averted from them, and that which they scoffed at will beset them. Section 2, Truth of Revelation. And if it we make man taste mercy from us, then withdraw it from him, he is surely despairing, ungrateful. And if we make him taste a favor after distress has afflicted him, he says, the evils are gone away from me. Certainly he is exalt, boastful. Except those who are patient and do good, for them is forgiveness and a great reward. Then may be that thou wilt give up part of what is revealed to thee, and thy breast will be straightened by it, because they say, why has not a treasure been set down for him, or an angel come with him? Thou art only a warner, and Allah is in charge of all things. Oh, say they, he has forged it. Say, they bring 10 forged chapters like it, and call upon whom you can besides Allah, if you are truthful. But if they answer you not, then know that it is revealed by Allah knowledge, and that there is no God but He. Will you then submit? Whoever desires the world's life and its finery will repay them their deeds therein, and they are not made to suffer loss in it. These are they for whom there is nothing but fire in the hereafter, and what they work therein is fruitless, and their deeds are in vain. Is he then like these, who has with him clear proof from his Lord, and witness from his recites it, and before it is the book of Moses, a God and a mercy. These believe in it, and whoever of the party disbelieves in it. The fire is his promised place. So be not in doubt about it. Surely it is the truth from thy Lord, but mostly man believe not. And who is most unjust than he who forges a lie against Allah? These will be brought before their Lord, and the witness will say, these are who lied against their Lord. Now surely the curse of Allah is on the wrongdoers, who hindered man from the path of Allah and desire to make it crooked. And they are disbelievers in the hereafter. These will not escape in the earth, nor have the guardians besides Allah. The chastisement would be doubled for them. They cannot bear to hear, and they did not see. These are they who have lost their souls, and that which they forged is gone for them. Truly, in the hereafter, they are the greatest losers. Surely those who believe and do good and humble themselves before their Lord, these are the owners of the garden. Therein they will abide. The likeness of the two parties is the blind and the deaf, and the seer and the hearer, and the equal in the condition. Will you not then mind? Section 3. History of Noah. And surely we sent Noah to his people. Surely I am plain warning to you, to serve none but Allah. Verily I fear for you the chastisement of painful day. But the beliefs of chiefs of his people who disbelieved said, we see thee not but a mortal like us, and we see not that any follower but thee. Those who are the meanest of us at first thought, nor do we see you in any superiority over us. Nay, we deem you liars. He said, O my people, see if I have with a clear proof from my Lord, and he has granted the mercy from himself, and it has been made obscure to you. Can we compel you to accept it while you are averse to it? And O my people, ask not for wealth in return for it. My reward is only with Allah, and I'm not going to drive away those who believe. Surely they would meet their Lord, but I will see you a people who are ignorant. And O my people, who will help me against Allah, if I drive them away, would you not then mind? And I say not to you that I have the treasures of Allah, and I know not the unseen, nor do I say that I am an angel, nor do I say about those whom I scorn that Allah will grant them any good. Allah knows best what is in their souls. For then indeed I should be one of the wrongdoers. They said, O Noah, indeed thou hast disputed with us, and prolonged dispute with us. So bring upon us that which is thou threaten us with, if thou art truthful. He said, I caught it, 814. He said, only Allah will bring it on you, if he pleases, and you will not escape, and my advice will not profit you. If I intend to give you good advice, if Allah intends to destroy you, he is your Lord, and to him you will be brought back. Or say he has forged it. Say, if I have forged it on me, is my guilt, and I am free of that of which you are guilty. Section 4. History of Noah. And it was revealed to Noah, none of the people will believe except those who have already believed. So grieve not at what they do, and make the ark under our eyes and our revelation, and speak not to me on the behalf of those who are unjust. Surely they would be drowned. And he began to make the ark. And whenever the chiefs of the people passed by him, they laughed at him. He said, "If you laughed at us, surely we too laugh at you as you laugh at us. So you shall know who it is on whom we shall come a chastisement, which would disgrace him, and whom is a lasting chastisement will fall." At length, when command came and water gushed forth from the valley, we said, Carry in it two of all things, a pair and a thine own family, except those against whom the word has already gone forth, and those who believe, and there believe not with him but a few. And he said, Embark in it, and in the name of Allah, be it sailing and its anchoring. Surely my Lord is forgiving, merciful. And it moved on with them amid waves like mountains. And Noah called out to his son, and he was aloof. O my son, embark with us, and be not with the disbelievers. He said, I would betake myself for refuge to a mountain that would save me from the water. He said, There is none safe today from Allah's command, but he on whom he had mercy. A wave intervened between them, so he was among them drowned. And it was said, O earth, swallow thy water, and O cloud, clear away. And the water was made to abate, and the affair was decided, and it rested on Judah. And it was said, Away with the iniquitous people. And Noah cried to his Lord and said, My Lord, surely my son is of my family, and thy promise is true, and thou art the justice of judges. He said, O Noah, he is not of the family. He is an embodiment of unrighteousness conduct. So ask not of me that of which thou hast no knowledge. I admonish thee, lest thou be of the ignorant. He said, My Lord, I seek refuge in thee from asking of thee that of which I have no knowledge. And unless thou forgive me and have mercy on me, I shall be of the losers. And was said, O Noah, descend with peace from us, and blessings on thee, and nations springing from those with thee, and there are nations whom we afford provisions. Then a painful punishment from us afflicts them. These are announcements relating to the unseen. We reveal to thee, thou didst not know them, neither thou nor thy people before this. So be patient. Surely the good end is for the dutiful. Section 5. History of Hud. And to the Ad we sent the brotherhood. He said, O my people, serve Allah. Serve Allah. You have no God save Him. You are only fabricators. O my people, I asked of you no reward for it. My reward is only with Him who created me. Do you not then understand? And O my people, ask forgiveness of your Lord. Then turn to Him. He will send on your clouds, pouring down abundance of rain, and add strength to your strength, and turn not back guilty. They said, O Hood, thou hast brought us no clear argument, and we are not going to desert our gods for thy word, and we are not believers in thee. We, we say not but we say not but that some of our gods have submitted with evil. He said, surely I called Allah to witness, and do you too bear witness that I am innocent of what you associated with Allah besides Him, to scheme against me altogether, then give me no respite. Surely I put my trust in Allah, my Lord and your Lord. Then there is no living creature but he grasps it by its forelock. Surely my Lord is on the right path. But if you turn away, then indeed I have delivered you to that which, excuse me, which I am sent to you, and my Lord will bring another people in your place, as you cannot do him any harm. Surely my Lord is the preserver of all things. And when our commandment came to pass, we delivered Hud and those who believed with him with mercy from us, and we delivered them from a hard chastisement. And such were Ad that denied the messenger of the Lord and disobeyed his messengers, and followed the bidding of every insolent opposer of truth. And they were overtaken by a curse in the world and on the day of resurrection. Now surely Ad disbelieved in their Lord. Now surely away with Ad and the people of Hud. Section 6. History of Salah. If I just tapping in, I appreciate it. Make sure go ahead and like it, share it, heart it, whatever. I'm reading the Holy Quran with the English and translation and commentary, the Malani Muhammad Ali version. So go ahead and check my YouTube out, Tru Hicks, my wife YouTube, Dionne's Life. And if I got any books that y'all want me to read or anything like that, inbox me or put in the comments, and I'll go purchase the book. And oh yeah, send me stars too. We could do that. Yeah, send me books. I'll read them. No problem. So again, if I got a book out there, The Alchemist, I got that. Give me 1 second, I got that. I'm on section 6. I got that. I can pull that up right now. I'm back. Told ya. The Alchemist. And honestly, I didn't even read this yet. Oh. I'm gonna read this next on that page. Okay, section 6. It might be longer than I expected to be on here today, so uh, let's get it. Section 6, History of Salah. And to Thamud we sent their brother Salah. He said, O my people, serve Allah. You have no God other than Him. He brought you forth from Him, brought you forth from the earth and made you dwell in it. So ask forgiveness of Him, then turn to Him. Surely my Lord, answering, they said, O Salah, thou wast among us a century of hopes, of our hopes before this. Doest thou forbid us to worship what our fathers worship? And surely we are in grave of doubt about that to which thou callest. He said, O my people, see if I have clear proof from my Lord, and He has granted me mercy from Himself. Who will then help me against Allah if I disobey Him? So you would add to me not but perdition? Okay. And O my people, this is Allah's she-camel, a sign for you. So leave her to pasture on Allah's earth, and touch her not with evil, lest a near chastisement overtake you. But they hamstrung her, so he said, enjoy yourself in your houses for 3 days. That is a promise not to be bellied. So when our commandment came to pass, we saved Salah and those who believed with him by mercy from us from the disgrace of that day. Surely thy Lord, He is strong and mighty. And the cry overtook those who did wrong, so there were motionless bodies in the abodes, as though they had never dwelt therein. Now surely Thamud disbelieving the Lord, so away with Thamud. Abraham, section 7. Abraham and Lot. And surely our messengers came to Abraham with good news. They said, peace, peace, said he, and he made no delay in bringing a roasted calf. But when he saw that their hands reached not to it, he mistrusted them and conceived fearful of them. They said, fear not, we have been sent to Lot's people. And his wife was standing by, so she wondered. Then we gave her the good news of Isaac, and beyond Isaac of Jacob. She said, O wonder, shall I bear a son when I am extremely old a woman, and this my husband, an extremely old man? This is a wonderful thing indeed. They said, wonders thou at Allah's commandment, the mercy of Allah and His blessings on you. On people of the house, surely He is praised, glorious. So when fear departed from Abraham and good news came to him, he began to plead with us for Lot's people. Surely Abraham was forbearing, tender-hearted, oft returning to Allah. O Abraham, cease from this surely. The decree of the Lord has gone forth, and there must come to them a chastisement that cannot be averted. And when our messengers came to Lot, he was grieved for them, and he was unable to protect them, and said, this distressful day. And his people came to him as if driven on towards him, and they were used to doing all evil deeds before. He said, O my people, these are my daughters. They are pure for you. So guard against the punishment of Allah, and disgrace me not about my guests. Is there not among you any right-minded man? They said, certainly thou knowest that we have no claim on thy daughters, and thou knowest what we desire. He said, would that I had that power to repel you. Rather I shall have response to a strong support. They said, O Lot, we are the messenger of the Lord, they shall not reach thee. So travel with thy people for a part of the night, and let none of you turn back, except thy wife. Surely whatsoever befalls them shall befall her. Surely their appointed time in the morning is not the morning high. So when our decree came to pass, we, we turned them we turned them upside down and rained on them stones, as decreed one after another, marked for punishment with my Lord, and is not far off from the wrongdoers. So that was from the Holy Quran with English translations and commentary. Milani Muhammad Ali. I'm just gonna read a little bit of this and I get out of here, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. I just saw this butterfly, that's why I'm gonna read that. Again, this is The Alchemist. Dionne Taylor said, The Alchemist, so I happened I had it. So let's just read something out of it. Before the boy could reply, a butterfly appeared and fluttered between him and the old man. He remembered something his grandfather had once told him, that butterflies were a good omen, like crickets, and like grasshoppers, like lizards and four-leaf clovers. That's right, said the old man, able to read the boy's thoughts, just as your grandfather taught you. These are good omens. The old man opened his cape, and the boy was struck by what he saw. The old man wore a breastplate of heavy gold covered with precious stones. The boy recalled the brilliance he had noticed on the previous day. He really was like a king. He must be disguised to avoid encounters with thieves. Take these, the old man holding out a white stone and a black stone and that he had been embedded at the center of the breastplate. They are called Erms and Thurim. The black symbol yes, and the white no. We are unable to read the Ohms. They will help you to do so. Always ask an objective question. But if you can, try to make your own decisions. The treasure of the pyramids that you already knew, but I had to insist on the payment of 6 sheep because I have helped you become. I helped you to make your decision. The bull put on the stones. The bull put the stones in each his. The bull put the stones in his pouch. From then on, he would not make his own decisions. Don't forget that everything you deal with is only one thing and nothing else. And don't forget the language of omens. And above all, don't forget to follow your personal legend through its conclusion. But before I go, I want to tell you a little story. A certain shopkeeper sent his son to learn about the secret of happiness from the wisest man in the world. The lad wandered through the desert for 40 days and finally came upon a beautiful castle. Up high atop a mountain, it was there that was wise man lived. Rather than finding a saintly man through our hero, on entering the main room of the castle, saw a hive of activity. Tradesmen came and went. People were conversing in the corners. A small orchestra was playing soft music, and there was a table covered with platters of the most delicious foods in the part of the world. The wise man converted with everyone, and the boy had to wait for 2 hours before it was his turn to be given the man's attention. The wise man listened attentively to the boy's explanation of why he had come, but he told him that he didn't have time just then to explain the secret of happiness. He suggested the boy looked around the palace and returned in 2 hours. Meanwhile, I want to ask you to do something, said the wise man, handing the boy a teaspoon that held 2 drops of oil. As you wander around, carry this teaspoon with you without allowing the oil to spill. The boy began climbing and descending many stairwells of the place, keeping his eyes fixed on the spoon. After 2 hours, he returned to the room the wise man was. Well, he asked the wise man, "Did you see the Persian tapestry that are hanging in my dining hall? Did you see the garden that took the master gardener 10 years to create? Did you notice the beautiful parchments in my library?" The boy was the boy was embarrassed and confused that he had observed nothing. His only concern he had been not to spill the oil that wise man had entrusted to him. "Then go back to observe the marvels of my world," said the wise man. "You cannot trust a man if you don't know his house." Relieved, the boy picked up the spoon and returned to his exploration of the palace, this time observing all the works of art of the ceilings and the walls. He saw the gardens, the mountains, and all around him, the beauty of the flowers and the taste with which everything had been selected. Upon returning to the wise man, he related in detail everything he had seen. "But where are the drops of oil I entrusted to you?" asked the wise man, looking down at the spoon he held. The boy saw the oil was gone. "Well, there's only one piece of advice I can give you," said the wisest of the wise men. "The secret of happiness is to all the marvels of the world, and never to forget the drops of the oil on the spoon." The shepherd said nothing. He had understood the story of the old king had told him. As shepherd, many like to travel, but he should never forget about his sheep. The old man looked at the boy, and with his hands held together, made several strange gestures over the boy's head. Then, taking his sheep, he walked away. All right. Yeah, I can see how the alchemists change people's lives. So, I'm wrapping it up now. Thank you for tapping in with us. Tru Hicks on YouTube. Dionne's Life on YouTube. She's crushing it, y'all. Go ahead and check her channel out. She's doing the numbers. I gotta catch up. So I can't catch up if y'all ain't sharing it or subscribing. So please, let me catch up to her. She got 10,000 subscribers. No, only got 97. So I'm gonna catch up to her, inshallah. And it's all fun and games with her, friendly competition. That's my wife. Rocking to the end with her. I love you, baby. I love y'all. I love Allah. All praises do go to Him. As I wrap this live up, I just wanted to share some things with y'all to let y'all know that Allah, He do loves you. He wants you to succeed. So go out there today and promote positivity, peace, love, unity, community, family. If I got a ill will to someone, go ahead and fix that now. Like, not now, but like right now. You don't have time, y'all. Never did have time. Get right. Get right. And I guess that was on my heart to say, so that's what it is, y'all. It's 5:40. I'm about to go out here and stretch and do what I gotta do to get my day started. So again, 1 share to 1,000,000 shares, and I can't do it by myself, y'all. And it starts with who? You. So until the next time, peace, 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 peace.